So here's the thing that most DeFi investors suffer from. They stick to one single chain or one single platform, and that's not the way to do things. Guys, I have positions on the Ethereum network. I have positions over on the Solana network. I've had positions over on Base, over on Arbitrum, over on Polygon, over on Optimism, over on Sonic, over on Sui. I've had positions everywhere basically. And I've rode the trends, I've rode the hype, but I've also came back to my roots, which is the Ethereum network where I'm currently at in my positions, doing the best results. Most DeFi investors stick to what's comfortable. And unfortunately, that just does not work anymore because there are periods where the returns on some of these networks are super low, to the point where sometimes some of these positions aren't even worth it. And sometimes it's better to be on other networks because of high gas fees or because of high slippage or even because of just strictly the fact that some liquidity providers provide tight range on one network but broader range on another network. I want to show you an example of that. I'm going to look at Ethereum to USDC right over here on Uniswap on the Ethereum network. We're going to pull up Aerodrome over here on the Base network, and we're going to look over here at Ethereum to USDC as well. It's going to be this one with $25 million of TVL. This one's in the 0.04% fee tier, slightly lower fee tier. Now, here's the thing that you're going to notice. If we look at this Ethereum network position right here, once again, very similar fee tier, you can see that liquidity is distributed very, very broadly. There's liquidity over here. There's not so much liquidity over here. There's not really anything over here, but there's like a lot of liquidity kind of in this center point right here when the price bounces back and forth. If we look at Aerodrome, it's strictly on one single price, and then there's instantly half as much liquidity on the prices that are outlined in it, and then right on the side of those prices, there's basically nothing. So while Aerodrome might capture a lot of fees in the short term for the Ethereum to USDC liquidity pool when people are executing trades, ultimately, if there's a lot of volatility for Ethereum and there's not enough time for people that have their liquidity on this single price point to actually move their liquidity, well, what's going to end up happening is this pool is not going to get a lot of returns, and you're going to be able to capture high returns if you do have broader range liquidity. So again, that's just a small reason why. We're not going to dive fully into that, but if you guys do want me to make some content around that, let me know down below in the comment section. And hey, we don't monetize this channel, so while you're at it, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, notifications turned on, because we're bringing you daily valuable information in DeFi. Point is, one of the pools that I made $10,000 on, which is a 50% ROI in the time span of just 3 months that I was in this pool for, was Ethereum to Aether. Now, Ethereum to Aether is on both the Ethereum network and the Arbitrum network. Now, with that being said, there's $2.8 million of TVL on the Ethereum network right now for Aether and Ethereum. There is $131,000 over here on the Arbitrum network on the 1% fee tier, and $131,000 over here on the 0.3% fee tier, right? And the return over on the Ethereum network is 105%. Now, when I was on the Ethereum network, I was doing a 150% APR consistently, okay? Now, there were high gas costs to get into the positions. Gas fees were significantly higher than what they're currently at. I was paying roughly $20 to get in a position, $10 to claim, $20 to get out of a position, right? And the Arbitrum network position was doing a 110% APR. Now, the fixed cost, or what I would consider the gas fees, so let's just assume that I had $60 in fixed cost per position over on the Ethereum network. And over here, I had maybe $2, right? Well, ultimately, what we have to take into account is the variable cost. The variable cost are slippage and stuff like that. Over on the Arbitrum network, there was significantly larger slippage. So I was paying roughly 0.5% for transactions, whereas over here on the Ethereum network, I was paying roughly 0.1% for transactions because there was significantly lower slippage. So again, a lot of people do not take into account this variable cost when analyzing different networks. Now, my daily return on the Ethereum network was $82 with $20,000 of capital, and my daily return over here on the Arbitrum network was $60 with $20,000 of capital. So naturally, a lot of people are like, okay, we'll just dive into the Ethereum network. It's a simple equation, right? Well, actually, not a lot of people are like that. When I was posting my journey, I got countless comments, probably about 100, on why I was on the Ethereum network when I could be on the Arbitrum network and pay the lower gas fees. Simple reason why is because sometimes returns are higher, not to mention more consistent on the Ethereum network, and not to mention sometimes there's lower variable cost, even though there are higher fixed cost. And if you're working with capital like 20 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, those variable costs are going to be more important to you than those fixed costs, because those fixed costs are easily outweighed by your overall position value. So our total total cost over here on the Ethereum network was $80. Our total cost over here on the Arbitrum network was $102. But what did people pay attention to? Just these fixed costs, the gas fees for getting into these positions, right? Well, what's our ROI period? Well, if we were in the pool for, say, 7 days on each of them, let's just say, well, on the Ethereum network, we generate $575, and over here on the Arbitrum network, we generate $422. So again, in this instance, it's basically better to just be with the Ethereum network simply because of the variable costs that are over on the Arbitrum network. But what if we are working with, say, $5,000 of capital, just like that? Well, all of a sudden, the costs over here on the Ethereum network are significantly larger. So if we generate a total of $144 on the Ethereum network after 7 days, what is our net? Well, we would just subtract your total cost from that. That gives us $79. On the Arbitrum network, it's $78. So which one would I go with? Well, a lot of you might say, oh, the Ethereum network is $1 more. No, because you have uncertainty when doing this. What if these numbers aren't accurate? It would make more sense to go on the Arbitrum network. What happens if we're working with $1,000 of capital? All of a sudden, it's a lot better to be over on the Arbitrum network because you have a little bit more money. You have 14 bucks basically. Well, then what if the variable costs were 0.3% of the overall position value instead of 0.1% on the Ethereum network? And you are going with $5,000. Let's just say in that instance, it does still make sense to be over here on the Arbitrum network. But then if you're ramping up to something like 7,500, it's a lot better to be over on the Ethereum network. So the point is looking at these chains from a different perspective, looking at them from a cost analysis perspective, and also we need to look at them from an opportunity perspective. There's some assets over on the Solana network that are not over on EVM chains like Ethereum and whatnot, right? Some of those assets are also on both chains. Now I want to talk to you about a couple examples of the assets over here. Something like JUP, that's something that I personally am interested in, that I'm invested in, that's only on the Solana network. There's also going to be stuff like Metaplex, basically, that's only over here on the Solana network. There's going to be stuff like Parcel that's only over here on the Solana network as well. There's a variety of assets only on the Solana network. And then you have assets like Render that are on both a Solana network and Ethereum network. And we can pick and choose which network we want to be on basically and pick and choose what we want to pair it with, whether it's Solana, whether it's Ethereum. But point is, you should be looking at these things from a cost analysis perspective. And most people, when investing into DeFi, play the wrong game. And it's like, oh, I just want to stick to Solana network because that's where I made my money from meme coins, or that's where I made money in general, right? Or that's what's working right now. And while some people don't think that you should fix what's already working, at the same time, there is room to optimize basically. And that's what we're talking about here, going to different chains, exploring different opportunities, hopping on these different networks so that way you can find better pools, potentially find higher profitable pools. One of the number one things that we do whenever people come on board one of our programs basically is analyze what positions that they are in, right? Are you in Ethereum to USDC? Great. There's like 100, 200, maybe 300 Ethereum to USDC pools out there. There's a lot of them, right? We're going to find the best one. And 9 times out of 10, we find a better pool. So if somebody's doing about 100% APR on Ethereum to USDC, we are able to get them up to 130% APR on Ethereum to USDC just by analyzing different exchanges and networks and getting them comfortable with different platforms basically without taking a significant amount more risk. So that right there is an extra 30% per year. If you got 100 grand, that's an extra $30,000 per year that you're generating from that one simple fix right there. So guys, I urge you to explore different opportunities. I urge you to go cross-chain. And if you are struggling with going cross-chain, Metrics Finance does support a lot of different networks, a lot of different exchanges, but DeFi Llama is ultimately the hub for all things DeFi and finding positions across maybe even networks that haven't even popped up and started trending yet that do still have high returns right now before the masses get in. So make sure to take a look at those two tools. They're very, very helpful. And if you guys want more content like this, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, notifications turned on. But most importantly, let us know down below in the comment section what type of content you guys want to see next and what you want me to make a video on. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.